We used to always sit on Hooper Avenue, 82nd and Hooper Avenue, smoking weed. Me and Gregory Carter always smoked weed together. It wasn't but a couple, maybe Big Ed, okay? That's Edward Jones. We'd smoke weed sitting right there up under that street lamp, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Man, we ought to call ourselves something. What are we going to call ourselves? We ought to. And I remember I used to love old gangster movies, James Cagney, and I saw The Purple Gang and, movies like that. Top of the World, Mom, James Cagney. And I said, there's a sign right there. It says Hooper Avenue. We standing right. Let's call ourselves the Avenues. And we started calling Avenue, Avenue, Avenue. There was a family called the McCoys, Danny McCoy, and they were my rivals. The McCoys, it was a bunch of them. And now they on 76 in Hooper, I'm on 83rd in Hooper. We right down the street from each other. And it was a competitive thing, like the gangsters or what. Always something was up with the McCoys and me, the Monsons.
Do you know what started that conflict with the McCoys?
No, I don't, not at all. One day, I was 19, and I had just got out the county jail. I spent the night in the county jail, and I didn't have any bus money, no cab money. We didn't have cell phones back then, and I had to walk from downtown L.A. to home. And when I got home, first thing I did was take me a bath. Wash the jail off me. Then I put on my brown biscuits, my brown pinstripe pants, brown silk tank top, and a brown short-waist leather coat. And I walked to the market, Hooper Market, to go get me an orange crush soda. When I go in, I come out standing outside Hooper Market, posted up like Bird would do at the Manchester show. I'm sharp. I just got out of jail. I'm feeling free as a bird. It's just, when you first come home, that first day you feel it, you know. And up drive a 64 Grand Prix, and 4 brothers jump out on me. Man, you Craig Monson, yeah. You took my nephews or my brothers or my cousin's leather jacket last night. Man, I spent the night in jail. I've been in jail. I ain't did nothing. I said, you sure it was last night? Yes. I said, but I was in jail. I got a wristband in my pocket to show it. They used to put these wristbands on you. And one of them went to the trunk of the car and got the jack out. You remember the jack's so high and the jack? What you gonna do with that? I'm pleading my case. Next thing you know, them brothers go to wailing on me. And one of them hit me, knocked me down. He knocked me down on 3, all 3. 1, 2, 3. And then he hit me again, and I put my hand up, and I grabbed the jack. Take me a good couple of deep breaths, and I stood up on them. And I wore their ass out. It broke the windows out the car. They left the car there. Broke the windows out, and somebody told Donnie and somebody told Joe, and they come running down the street with guns. But my nephew, my play nephew, that's Clote's son, D-Mac said, Craig, when I came, there was blood trails going this way and that way from the way they had ran. Okay. Now, Donnie Boy pissed. My homie pissed, because they done come in the neighborhood and jumped on me. Okay. So we ride down that night to the house, to their house, their mama's house. And we went up to the door. Teddy Bear stayed in the car. Me and my buddy walked in and asked, where's Danny? Mama said, he in the back room. We go in the back room. They sitting on the bunk beds.
Mama just let you in the house.
Mama just let us in the house. Don't know we come there with blood in our eyes. We go in the house and walk straight to the back room. They sitting on the bunk bed and looked up, and lo and behold, we got guns. shotgun in the car. And man, I told you, I didn't I didn't take no leather jacket. I told you this, I told y'all. And they looking up at me. I'm in their bedroom. I done walked up in their house. They couldn't say nothing. And we walked out of there like Jesse James. And look, I'm walking out, but Donnie walking backwards, okay? We ain't got no guns showing in our hand, You ain't no drain drum now. But that's the last I seen of the McCoys. This is the time when you'd walk into your mama's house and they got Martin Luther King preaching. I had a dream. I'd walk into the house and they have his voice just as the radio turned sky high. You could hear it coming down the alley. Bunchy Carter might walk up and want to smoke a joint with me in my bedroom. My bedroom was adjacent to the house. And so I'm in the room with Bunchy Carter, okay? And he's telling me, and I was 17, he says, I was 17 then. He said, Big Craig, you could rob a bank now, and they ain't going to do nothing but send you to youth authority. And I'm thinking, he's giving me the wrong advice. Okay? But
he was probably thinking about getting money for the movement.
For the movement.
Yeah.
You see, and then I was loco. I was nuts. I wasn't like his brother, Gregory. And Bunchy was cool. I admired Bunchy. But he was a militant, okay? I was a gangster. I wasn't that orientated to be in a movement. I went with Bunchy and some other guys in the car, and I was 17, and Bunchy took me for security. I was a big loco teenager, right? And we went over to see Ron Karinga. Bunchy went up to talk to him. He made Bunchy look bad, in my eyes, the way he spoke to Bunchy. And I held Bunchy real high, okay? And so he's putting Bunchy down in front of me, and I didn't like it. So I went over and I slapped this man upside the head, and them boys pulled guns out. And Bunchy's like, oh, no, Craig, no. They will kill us up in here. Well, you should have told me to keep my hands to myself or something. Get us out of here. So we backed out of that place. Got into the car, and Bunchy's like, what were you thinking? But shit, you took me with you. I was a kid. Okay? I didn't have no discipline.
Now, these are the people that eventually ended up shooting and killing Bunchy Carter maybe a year later at UCLA.
At UCLA, killed him, and I ended up going to San Quentin where the two so-and-so that killed him, I had to walk the yard with him.
This would be Ali and George
Steiner, the Steiner boys.
When George and Ali Steiner are in San Quentin with you, and these are the guys that killed Bunchy Carter, how did you feel that you're on the
Terrible. But now they got a saying, what happened on the street, stay on the street. Okay? Because Quentin ain't nothing but a city inside a city. So you're in a different state, a different city. You ain't on the streets. You're in San Quentin. And I sat many a days with Geronimo Pratt. Geronimo Pratt was a Black Panther, okay? And I'm sitting on the big yard with him, and them two brothers are walking past me and Geronimo, and I'm hunching him and hinching, and so he's saying, yeah, I know, Big Craig, we can't do nothing. Or tow truck, because that's what they call me, tow truck, in the pen. I changed my moniker, so didn't want to be using Big Craig. I had used that up a lot, okay? So I was calling myself tow truck, since I was so strong. So
what did Geronimo Pratt say to you?
Time and place for everything. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
And at this time, Geronimo Pratt was well known because he had a publicized trial.
Oh, everybody knew Geronimo. Yeah. Geronimo,
in fact, Johnny Cochran was his attorney when he got sent to San Quentin back in the 70s.
I didn't know none of that. That movie they put out, Shawshank Redemption, when the man sat up on top of the wall, the black man, well, Geronimo sat where he sat. Okay, San Quentin just had a wall around it, a bench, and you could go sit with Geronimo and talk with him if you were privileged. Okay, anybody couldn't just go sit with him, but I go sit with him every day. Geronimo said, Big Craig, I want you to study a different convict every day. He said, I want you to study them so you will know every move they make so nobody will never be able to run up on you.
So what kind of guy was he in prison?
Good guy, dangerous, knew his shit. He knew his karate and all that stuff, but easy spoken, soft spoken, happy go lucky. Wasn't bitter like you would think he was for being in jail. Didn't do the crime. He said it all the time. What was that saying? Half the people in here didn't do it. They say they didn't, but Big Craig, I didn't do mine. I say, well, I didn't do mine either, but I did it. You know, that kind of deal. He said, no, I didn't do it. I didn't do my crime. I'm like, really, Geronimo? You know. He said, man, I wasn't even in town when that happened. They wanted me, they got me. And it would bog him down. You could see it in his eyes. Talking with him, when that subject was touching him, you could see it in his eyes. He really hurting. You know what I mean? That he was in the pen and he didn't do nothing. But you know what they say? Well, you didn't do that, but you did something else. You know what I mean? Well, you know, you're a Panther, so I know you done had something. You done did something. You know, that's the way I used to look at it. They didn't catch you for that one, but they caught you because you did some dirt, you know. I was 20 when I got arrested, turned 21 in the jailhouse. People are saying I beat up Raymond Washington. We were men. Look, when that happened with me and Raymond, I was about 18. Raymond was about 16 or 17. Raymond used to hang with Boo. That's Donnie's brother. He was like a baby Avenue, okay? But while we were working out, and I took working out very serious, you got to concentrate. We was buffing that iron, and Raymond wanted to sit there and play the dozens. Your mama this, your mama got big feet, your mama this. I'm like, man, shut the so-and-so up. I said, Donnie, after we get through working out, knock that motherfucker out. And Donnie said, no, Big Craig, no, you hit him, but hit him with an open hand. I said, okay. Well, I'm big enough, I got power anyhow. So I slapped the shit out of Raymond. Don't come around here no more, okay? And Raymond said to me, something had happened to Raymond. He had got shot, he had a bad limp or something, okay? He says, okay, I don't want to be an Avenue no-how. You don't want me in your gang, I'll go start my own gang. And I said, what you gonna call it? He says, I said, what you gonna call it, you little crip? Okay, because I called him crip because he walked up and down like a cripple. And, you know, and when you're teenagers, you're very cruel. Kids, you know, you're cruel, so you talk like that. And he said, yes, that's what I'm gonna call it, the Crips. Okay? And yet now you have the Crips. From that day on, Raymond started the Crips right then. No, I didn't start no Crips. I didn't have nothing to do with the Crips. I banished Raymond from being around the avenues. After that day, I don't ever remember even seeing Raymond again. When I get in jail for the big house, I'm going to court, back and forth to court, and they had me on a keep away. They wouldn't put me with the rest of the inmates because I was a bad boy. I like to fight. And so, time to go to court, okay? They put you downstairs in the bullpens, all these people, everybody waiting to go to court, you know, and they're going to Orange County, they're going all over the city. And they chained me up to this, handcuffed me to this white boy. And he got long hair, and we sitting on the floor talking. And you got to sit maybe 35, 45 minutes, okay? And we talking, and the police come, and he said, all right, Manson, let's go. I said, it ain't Manson, it's Monson. He said, I'm not talking to you, Monson, I'm talking to Charlie. Come on, Charlie. As in Charlie Manson? He said, yep. I'm handcuffed to Charlie Manson, sitting here for 45 minutes talking with Charles Manson, didn't even know it. Didn't seem like a bad guy at all.
So you was actually chained up to one of the most famous killers of
mass
American...
murder, killer.
Well, technically, he didn't kill none of those 7 people. He had other people do it for him.
Yes, but now, look, here we go.
Yeah.
The guy, Tex Watson.
Who was one of his killers.
Who cut the baby out. He put that tattoo on my arm.
Is that right?
Yeah, and there's supposed to have been 2 of them, like this, with the chain, with the broken chain. But he just put one because he wasn't able to finish it because they the Aryan Brotherhood had a piping party on the lower yard, and they piped him up, his own people.
For giving you a tattoo?
No.
Something else.
Yeah, they piped him for.
So you actually met Tex Watson. Was this in Tracy?
This in Quentin. This in Quentin. Yeah, this in Quentin.
And what was he like?
White boy.
Thanks for watching StreetGangs.com. Please like and share the video you just watched and leave a comment below to tell us what you think. You can also watch 2 of our previous episodes to the right. Please visit the link to our Patreon page and support our campaign. And don't forget to subscribe.